But until then, see you guys next time. Guys, girls, and everybody else.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Ria. So we're gonna head to an up next screen, but after that we'll be doing some Super Mario Brothers 2 Randomizer with Skybilz. So be sure to stay around for that. That'll be so fun. Okay, so hello everyone. We're back with Edge Case. We're back with Undefined Behaviour, and coming up next we'll have Super Mario Brothers 2 by Skybilz, and it'll be, and she'll be playing Tetra's Randomizer, and I think Tetra has things she wants to say about it.
Hey everyone, I'm Tetra. I'm actually the creator of this randomizer, so if something goes horribly wrong, you know who to blame. And playing will be the lovely Skybilz.
Well, hello there, Tetra. This is very awesome. I'm excited to play this. Also, hello, everybody. So today, I'm going to be playing mostly as Luigi, maybe a little bit of Toad and Peach in there, but I love playing Luigi in this game. But Tetra can talk a little bit more about the sprites and some of the challenges I might take up later on involving those sprites. But we ready for a countdown here? All
I
right.
think we're ready.
No, you're good. You're good. All right. We're going to count down in 3, 2, 1, go. And as you see, Tetra has provided a very generous amount of lives here. So palettes, enemies are going to be a little bit different here. So apologies in advance if I get very surprised by something and make a sudden noise. Ooh. 6-1 to start, my goodness. Oh my gosh, nice first run there. All right.
Here is a completely different palette, colors, and not so many different enemies. But what's going on with the enemies in the game is that there's 4 different sets of them. One for the worlds 1, 3, and 5 in vanilla, one for the sort of desert worlds, one for the winter ones, and one for world 7 in the castle at the end. So what you're going to see later on is some enemies that were intended only for one of those sets appearing in a different one, so you get some really cool sprite glitches that you'll see. Here, Skybilz is playing as Luigi, and is going to be running away from that egg there. And that's okay. Sometimes it makes sense to run away from enemies in this game.
Oh, that was a good Birdo.
Nice.
That was a very scary Birdo.
Wow, well done.
6-1 is a tough stage to start on when you're feeling nervous. You know, that's quite the icebreaker there.
Absolutely.
Oh, my goodness.
So let's see what level we get next for 1-2 here. Which one is this? I think one of the ones from World 2, I forget. You know, I've been doing so much randomizing for this, I almost forget which vanilla level is which.
Oh my goodness. There's some very... Oh goodness, those flowers are very different too. Okay, Go, go, go.
Yeah, you'll see some of those panzer flowers that are stationary replaced with ones that aren't, and that can get interesting challenges. Also, some of the textures, like where there's ice in a level, might be solid ground and vice versa, so that can also cause some interesting challenges that you don't get with the vanilla game. And looks like we have tweeters here instead of the Shy Guys going around in the sand, which actually makes it a little bit easier, I think.
Okay, I made it through. I normally have to take a hit there. That's a pretty tough spot. Sniffits are not nice.
Yep.
Ooh, Tetra, we have the sand texture here for this Birdo.
Yeah, I wonder what would happen if you broke some of the sand below Birdo. That could make for some interesting shenanigans. I'm
gonna take Toad into this fight. I gotta be a little more proactive here against Birdo. Birdo is one of those fights where it gets out of control very quickly if you're timid around Birdo. I think I'm just getting some beginning of run nerves here against Birdo.
Oh yeah, don't worry about it. You're playing way better than I could, so.
All right. I like to, if you die, and this is another nice feature of Tetra's Randomizer, you have the option of checking a flag to change characters. You can't do that in the NES Super Mario Brothers 2. Ooh, starting in subspace here. Tetra, if this wasn't tough enough, first boss is going to be Fry Guy here.
Well, it's going to probably be mostly Fry Guy.
Right.
You may see some parts of Fry Guy you don't quite recognize, but we'll see that in a sec.
But I like inventing names and stories for Fry Guy. Also, we're going across the desert, not across the ocean. That's pretty cool, too. I like that feature.
Thing wrong with taking a video game and changing it up or queering it a little bit?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Also, we're just going to skip this whole level. No one wants to see the inside of Joy. Why not?
Nobody got time for that.
Oh, yeah. All right, so now we have Triclyde Fry Guy. Like I said, there's a story behind every single one.
Actually, we can call this one a Fry Clyde. How about that?
Oh, I like that. I like that.
Yep. And again, this is another example of what happens when you take sprites intended for one level and put them in a different one. Ooh, we got little claw circle things. I don't know what those are, but be careful with those.
Oh yeah, this is not good. Okay, that's one. That's one.
So to explain this a little bit more, the original NES had a lot of limitations when it came to the number of sprites that it could keep in its graphical memory at a time. So basically, the way the original developer saved space, which was actually really clever, is by, if you never had both let's say a Triclyde and a Fry Guy on the screen at the same time, you could basically reuse those same sprite slots. The problem, though, is that if you take like a Fry Guy and you put it in a graphics set that was intended for Triclyde, you'll see those glitchy sort of weird bosses like that. And oh, nice jump there. That's actually possible in vanilla too.
I'm so grateful that the sprite cooperated there, Tetra. You have no idea. That's a tough section. Good RNG. Good RNG.
Yep.
Anyways, keep going. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, sure. Of course. Yep. So some of those snippets can also be replaced with like Ninja, which actually make it easier, or they could be replaced with enemies that don't even allow the skip at all.
Very grateful for the skip.
Yep. So did a little redecorating in this room. Hope you don't mind.
Oh, that was a good Birdo too. Thank you.
Oh, well done. Nice. Yeah, you can't get it much faster than that. Question in chat about the rocket. Yes, the rocket is actually from the vanilla game, so you can't blame that one on me. Oh,
and as you saw,
floating Cobrats here, though. That's kind of interesting.
That's a toughie too. I was struggling with those sprites during practice last night. So we're just going to float under these cobras here.
Oh.
All right, there we go.
This is fine.
Oh yeah. All right, we're gonna perform a ladder jump here. Ooh, and subspace too.
And what goes on here is that normally you would take the ladder up, but there's actually a range of about a couple pixels that if you get off the ladder, you're sort of in a jumping state where you can essentially, or you're in a state where you're falling and then can jump as if you're similar to the one pixel jumps in Mario 1 that you sometimes see speedrunners do. So you can actually get right off the ladder and then jump off the screen in a way that doesn't trigger the ladder code to go to the screen above.
I love the subspace palette, Tetra. It sometimes makes some stages more difficult than usual, but it's worth it for the aesthetic. It's so cool. All right, nice subspace battle there.
So you'll probably get a couple more subspace palettes coming up here. Also, make sure to avoid the whammy.
I like that. I like that one a lot. Ooh, this is another toughie here. This is 5-3. Ugh. As Tetra says, sometimes it's okay to run away from enemies, and I appreciate that sentiment.
I'm picking up a safety mushroom. That's a good call.
Always on 5-3. This is a longer stage.
So it looks like we have 5-3. This was intended for the regular sprite set, but it's going to be in desert. So that's why we see some weird sort of Cobrat-like walls in the background.
Ooh, Tetra called it too. subspace time.
A question about the warp zones. Yes, they are randomized in terms of what level they go to. There is a flag that lets you, even for advanced players, allow warping backwards. So you may take a warp, but then it sends you to an earlier point in the game, which is a little bit trolly. But
Oh no.
Well, this is tough here.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to take a hit here. I may have to take... Nope, there was no way. This is a toughie, those flowers. The flowers are some of the toughest enemies in the game.
Yeah, interestingly enough, those panzers or flowers, those actually move right to left and will follow you. But now that they're actually stationary, they sort of give you a completely different challenge here.
All right.
Ooh, nice
can't
damage
quite make
boost
that.
to get up there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there we go. There we go. All right, I have mastered that room. Let's
Nice.
keep going.
You actually can kill the panzers if you use a mushroom block or something. Oh, by the way, here's some flying cactus spits and bits of rocket. This is totally fine. The reason why that happens is that the rockets are only in, I believe it's the castle and the winter sprite set. So if you actually put one of those rockets, since you don't see any rockets in Worlds 2 or 6, the desert ones, you wind up seeing completely different sprites for the Pidgeots and their carpet. So
All right, so Tetra, what enemy is this?
I think it's Triglip, maybe?
Triglip? I like that.
Triglip? Well, not Clawglip, but...
Yeah.
And looks like they're throwing little ice
Oh, there
blocks
we go.
at you or something. Ooh, nice multi-hit there.
Thank you. Yeah, I got a 3 and then a 2, so no complaints there. That's good.
A snake hamburger. I like that one, Olivia. Nice.
Snake hamburger. All right, so we have fish in the desert. I like this again. Very cool.
Yep, everything is fine. Nothing to see here.
Nope.
This is all just like the way you played it as a kid, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So one of the things I like the most here about how Tetra has done these palette swaps is that it really changes sometimes the way you play a stage. So for example, the sand there, if you were to fall there on accident, guess what? You're not dead. So that's kind of cool. I like that.
Yeah, one of the trickiest bugs I had to fix when designing this is that the way the game handles quicksand, it's actually basically a pit with some very special code in certain places to keep you from falling into it. So when I moved quicksand from one level to another, it was actually very challenging to make it work.
Oh goodness. That was a start.
These sort of columns or funnels that you see there in the hills, those are actually from the very last room in the game where Wart has those little pipes that he shoots vegetables out of you from. Those are actually those pipes, and we're in a World 7 sprite set right now. So that's why they look a little bit strange, but yeah. I thought about changing them around so that they were made more sense like vanilla, but they just seem so cool glitchy like this that why would you do that?
Oh, Birdo being not so nice here. That's all right. We'll take that.
Okay, not bad.
Those are tough Birdos today. They're all tough Birdos today. All right, can we get the tougher castle out of the way here? Nope. I was hoping for 3-3, honestly, because 3-3 is another one of those tougher levels that you like to get out of the way early. But this looks like 2-3 here.
Yes, that's correct.
We got time for a donation?
Yeah.
Sure, go for it.
Okay, we have $20 from MBT Yu-Gi-Oh! Who says, "What I love about Quest 64 is that it's so true. Who among us has not inherited the burden of settling to defeat an unknowable god monster?" So thanks for that.
Aw, little hedgehog.
Anything else, Garby?
Okay, I'll just plug what we're doing. This is Undefined Behaviour, which is a showcase and speedrun marathon centered around queering games and queerness in games. For this marathon, we're exploring glitchy, unusual, and marathon unsafe runs, as well as adjacent and related queer gaming content. We queer games when we reject limits and rules, when we play in atypical ways, and when we read diversity into stories and games. This is the first Undefined Behaviour marathon, and we're so excited to share all these games and showcases with you. So as you can see, this randomizer that Tetra made is really a cool part of this to have, and I'm really glad we're having this.
Yeah, again, I just want to give a very big shout out to Tetra here. This randomizer really makes the original Mario 2 game, oh my goodness, how did I not die there? A big challenge, and I like that.
Yeah, well, I always love how randomizers help sort of breathe new life into old games and make them more interesting. So, yeah. So here we're about to get to a point where, since we're in a World 7 sprite set, we're going to see a triclide here, but it's going to have little bits of wart, I believe, assuming I did my mental calculations correctly.
Oh yeah,
that is Wartclyde, I guess.
all right. I wanted to go down earlier, but there was a little hedgehog down there, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna wait for that door to open. All right, already at 4-1 here. Good.
Fun fact,
that's
I think those hedgehogs were called porcupos in the original game.
Ooh, I like that name.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, this is a little bit trickier, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Very much so. All right, there we go. I am actually very happy to have the ice in this room because I'm used to moving in this room on ice, and when it's not on ice, I'm like trying to slide and it doesn't work. So I wonder if that means we get the whales here. Nope. Well, kinda actually. We do get the whales with the spouts here. We don't always get that.
Yeah, this one just sort of happened to be in its vanilla sprite set, so we don't get to see something like bombs come out instead of the whale spouts. And sometimes you might even see whale spouts in other levels that are just coming randomly in place of other enemies. But there's a question in chat before if all the enemies were replaced 1-to-1, and the answer to that is yes, they are.
I might actually take the death here so I can try to get the skip, but we'll see.
Yep.
No, I actually got it. Nice.
Oh, nice. So
Right,
what
let's
Skybilz is going to do if she can get this is to ram directly into this Birdo here, and that takes her out in one shot.
Yes.
So that was a really nice skip you got there.
Thank you. I wasn't. I thought I would take a death to the spikes and then just try it again, but I'm like, that's cool when it happens that way. Ooh, suddenly 1-1.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the other things about this game, and there's a bug that Skybilz actually found last night, where sometimes water turns into ice, particularly if you're in a winter sprite set. So sometimes when that happens, it can either soft lock you completely, or like it's doing right now, make you have to sort of take a little bit of a detour.
Yep, I'm taking that detour.
Okay, good.
And you know what? I call this DLC, because it's nice to be able to see some refreshing rooms for a change.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the original visions I had for this randomizer that turned out to be a lot more technically complicated than I thought it would be, is to basically randomize the entrances, so where the doors point to.
Ooh.
So if anybody's interested in working more on this randomizer, it is available on my GitHub page and is completely open source. So if anyone with the technical knowledge is interested in working on it more, definitely feel free to get in touch. I would love to see some more dev work on this.
One of the other things I like about this randomizer too, I mentioned the extra lives at the beginning. If you want to try this for your first time, it also has extra continues. So as you all know, one of the harshest parts of Super Mario Brothers 2 is that when you run out of continues, you have to begin the game all over again, which is very unlike a Mario game. So thanks to Tetra's randomizer, you get way more continues and way more lives per continue if you choose that option. I like that.
The point of randomizers is to have fun, not to make them sort of, really difficult kaizo things that take... I mean, some people like the challenge of that, but I personally don't, so it's good that the option is available. Ooh, nice Birdo fight.
Thank you. It was a little questionable at first, but this is going to be tough to do on one hit, but I'm going to try. No, I didn't want to let go of that. Also, Fry Guy makes another appearance here. There we go. Luigi finally did what I wanted him to do. Whoa! Oh my goodness. Okay, one more hit. Come on.
You can do it.
Oh! My goodness.
Nice. Well done.
Now I've made
Now
myself...
you just have to get over to the door.
Yes. Okay. Made it. Whew. That was a close one.
Yep. There's one other feature of the randomizer that's not being demonstrated today, which is that in some flag sets, you're able to actually have the character's statistics and their special abilities randomized. So sometimes you might see Luigi have just a very short jump and fast digging speed, whereas the Mario might have the princess's lengthy float time, for example. So by doing that, you also make it a little bit more weird which character you want to use. So.
And this is another part here. You kind of have to route on the spot here because a lot of these sprites change. So again, just something to think about while you're playing the rando. You may not be able to take the same route that you want to take in vanilla. You gotta be flexible.
There's even some cases where 6.2, where Sky took a really cool shortcut, where that's not available. So you might have to actually do that whole level the intended long way.
Mm-hmm. That's a tough level as well. That's one of the reasons why I put such a generous estimate on this, because you don't know how much of the game you actually need to play. So that's a thing.
So we have another donation, Ann.
Ooh.
Oh, go for it, Garby.
We have $20 from Meg McAttack, who says, "Thank you so much, Tetra, for leaving the glitchy boss fights in this. They're beautiful."
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of those cases where it would actually be a lot more work to take them out than to put them in. So I'm glad it just sort of worked out nicely that way. But yeah, no, Meg and so many other folks really enjoy them. So gonna do what the fans like.
I like it too. I mean, I get to tell a story every single time we get a different type of boss, so that's cool.
Yeah, and make up new names for them.
Mm-hmm.
So Sky's taking a little bit of the long sort of auto-scroller route through this. There is a really precise way to jump at just the right times with Luigi to avoid having to fly on one of those albatrosses, but that's a pretty advanced speedrunning strat.
Oh yeah, and I learned it once over at a friend's place, but I'll tell you something, it's very tough to replicate, and I think it only saves about 10 seconds or so, but it is not easy to do.
So much better to take the safe strat.
Mm-hmm. Plus, that was a perfect time for a donation, so hey, it's good.
Yeah, nothing like donations during auto-scrollers.
Absolutely. Oh my. Okay, that was not planned. Whoa.
Okay.
And that's why I love this randomizer for moments like that. You never know when something's just going to fly out of the air at you. It's fun.
Yeah, it's like one of those ninjas in the new Mario Maker where they're just going all over the place at you.
Mm-hmm. There's another advanced strat that you can do here that involves clipping through something in this room, but again, something that I have yet to learn. The context in which I've learned the vanilla portion of this game is actually in my All-Stars All Games run. So I don't get a chance to run this game as much. I run it pretty much as a marathon. Whoa, that was a little scary. That ninja there had my number. So I've learned the ladder strats, which we'll see more in Wart's Castle. If you haven't seen the speedrun of this before, there is so much of Wart's Castle that gets skipped thanks to the ladder jumping strat. Alright, so this is our first Mauser. We don't know what kind of, well, I don't know what kind of Mauser we're gonna get. We'll see. Also, little bit of flashing here, so if you're sensitive to that, be sure to look away. Oh my gosh, it's just Bowser!
Sometimes you do get the vanilla version.
Oh, Mauser takes so many hits.
So there's actually a completely different
There we go.
Mauser. I believe the white one instead of the gray one actually takes, I want to say 5 or 6 hits as opposed to 3. So technically, to answer Big Head's question, chat, this is randomized, and it's a much stronger Mauser in place of the weaker one that's from Vanilla 1.3.
Yep, so I wonder if that means if we're going to get the other Mauser later on.
It's
We'll
more
see.
likely than you think.
I hope that is the case, because the arena that you have to fight for the second Mauser is a little trickier than the first one.
Oh yeah,
So-
and with the spark guy going around.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Beautiful, beautiful climb here in Subcon. I like this a lot.
Yeah. So, fun fact about the original lore for Mario 2. Spoiler alert for a game in 1988. It actually all takes place in a dream of Mario's. So, in some ways, this is just queering the dream, or, no, I guess not really corrupting it, but changing it around a little bit. So, that's what we're all about here with the Edge Case group. So, yeah.
That is the most beautiful 5-2 I've ever seen, Tetra. Oh, right under the fish. Aw, Birdo.
Oh, you were robbed there.
I was. Alright, that's fine. We'll take that.
Got him.
Yep. I'll tell you something, though. The hardest subcon palette so far I've ever played in, 5-3. My goodness, inside the tree is... Whoa, where's the door? Where's the door? There's the door. Oh my goodness.
Somewhere
Okay.
there.
This is a first. This is a first. I like this. Whoa, Ninjino.
Hey,
This
who
is
turned the
good.
lights out?
Yeah, that is kind of what it feels like. Somebody turn the lights out. Alright, please let this... Okay, sweet. Thank you. I was a little worried that I wasn't going to be able to see the carpet.
Wouldn't do that to you, Sky, don't worry. I've definitely put some diabolical things in this, but not that bad.
That ninja.
Oh, you were
just-
robbed.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That happened to me yesterday with Babam there too. I think there's a certain spot where you gain control, and unfortunately, it looks like that's a forced hit there. But that's okay. Just makes it them. Uh oh, Tetra, no, it happened again. This Birdo fight scares me.
If you want to show off something really cool, on the the ledge where you are right now,
Yeah.
dig the bit of sand all the way to the right, and let Birdo fall into the pit if you can. Well, I guess you would fall in too, so maybe don't do that.
That's the scary part about this. Trust me, if I could, I would. I'd
Yeah.
love to do that.
Technically, there's a glitch where if Birdo falls into a pit, Birdo itself will die, but the orb that Birdo carries will actually scroll around the screen and come down from the top. And if you're able to have that fall onto the other platform, you can actually kill Birdo and get a quick kill that way.
Well, that's cool. Subcon is not subcon. I like that.
Well, if the subcon palette is busy, so
All right,
we'll let it take a break.
Okay, we got a ninja here. Thank you. So we're gonna be able to perform a skip here. We're gonna skip maybe about quarter to half the stage. We'll call it a third.
Yeah, this skip is commonly used in vanillas and warpless speedruns. You'll commonly see folks choose Mario for this level because Mario's jump is just barely able to make that jump on the Ninja, but also has advantages with digging speed and stuff like that.
Oh, this is scary.
Uh-oh.
We're okay. That's why you get the mushroom and randomizer. Uh-oh, got one more thing to deal with here. I couldn't perform a despawn. So let's just get rid of that snippet.
So I see some questions in chat. While Sky is concentrating on avoiding these little sparks here, I can answer those. Ria asks, what is the name of the hawk mouth that you use to exit the stage? I'm actually not sure.
I don't know that one either, actually. That's a good question.
I don't. And also, Kate Libc asks, does this randomizer work against Doki Doki Panic very well? And for those of you who don't know, Doki Doki Panic is the Japanese game that Mario 2 was based off of. I'm honestly not sure. I've never actually tried randomizing anything with the original Doki Doki Panic game. If you want to give it a shot and it works, please let me know because I would be curious.
The only thing about Doki Doki Panic is, because my friend Lack Attack 24 ran it in several marathons. Oh, okay. Is that you can't run in Doki Doki Panic. Like, there's no run button, so it's very different in that sense. Alright, there we go. And I learned that there's 2 different Mousers today, thanks to Tetra.
The more you know.
Mm-hmm. Alright, last 2 levels. And normally I know a skip for this level, but with Randomizer, I always want to be a bit careful as to what the sprites are going to be, so we're not gonna take the fancy shortcut today.
You can totally take the shortcut if you want, don't worry.
So I'm actually going to be signing off as host now, and it must be Tuesday will be host now, so see y'all.
Bye, Garvey. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Garvey. Yeah, see ya.
Hello, thanks, everyone. Garvey.
I think I'm going to try Toad for Wart's Castle, even though the ladder jump's a little tougher. I can always take a death and change characters if I need to, but I think I'm going to try Toad here.
Sounds like a good plan.
Yeah. You get a much less generous pixel jump here with Toad. Oh my goodness, okay. I thought I was gonna die there. So, interesting fact here about these conveyor belts. I saw Tetra enable these conveyor belts in a different level when I was playing in my practice seat yesterday. Oh my goodness, why do I do that to myself every time? I'm gonna pick Toad and then I barely get that chain jump.
Okay, so here Sky is going to be trying another ladder jump clip thing.
Yeah,
Oh, almost got it there.
almost. That was close. All right, nice. That's actually very above average for me.
So the best thing about the skip is not only does it let you skip the vast majority of this level, it also, because of the way you come into the room with the Birdo, Birdo doesn't guard the key, so you can just pick this key right up. Normally what you would have to do is defeat that Birdo, who would then give you it like one of the orbs at the end of the level. So
I really
Sky got a
like-
really nice skip that way.
Tetra, I really like Ward's Castle today. It's very green.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, we have an ostrich attached to this bird door. Alright. Oh, I thought I got the triple there. Okay, I think
very
I'm
cool.
gonna take a death to Ward here because I want to start out as Big Toad. So let me get a hit back here. I got plenty of lives. Oh my gosh, that is a frightening looking wart.
Okay.
All right, so I did that on purpose. The hitboxes are a little bit different when I'm bigger Toad, so I'll take
And
a
now
little
for
bit
the
of time
true
off.
final boss of the game.
Whew.
Okay, what are those things that whoever that is throwing at you, I wonder?
I don't know, actually. That's a good question. Okay, so when the log is showing, Wart's mouth is open. That's awesome.
I love how Amethyst writes in chat, look how they massacred my boy.
Aww.
So for those of you who can't tell, I think that comes from claw grips right there. Claw grip
Yep.
being the sort of crab or lobster from the vanilla game.
All right, time coming up.
Nice fight there. Well done.
And time. That was a good run. I wonder what the time was. I think that was better than any of my practice runs. $36 flat. That's really good for randomizer. That's really good for randomizer for me.
So you're at like 50 minutes or something?
Yeah, my estimate was 50 because you didn't know, like what you're saying with like 6-3, for instance, you didn't know if you had to play like an extra half of a level or something, and those add up quickly. But thank you so much to y'all for having me here.
Great
And
work,
thank you
Skybilz. That was awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. And thanks to Tetra, too, for developing this randomizer. I have a lot of fun with it, and I love just everything about it. I would not change anything from the way the palettes look to the way the bosses look. So thank you.
And
Awesome.
thank you to the Edge Case Collective for letting me show it off today and letting me feature it at your marathon.
Thank you for making it and for being here. Everyone be sure to follow Tetra and Skybilz.